I will just wait for everybody else to get here. Of course, I went ahead and upgraded to the full version of Zoom because I didn't feel like switching out and doing all the links and stuff. So
Okay. How much is it? Is it like monthly or how do you do it?
I did it monthly. It was only $18 for a business account. Yeah. So I was like, see, now I'm gonna have to start doing more engagements on Zoom since I'm paying for it. I might as well.
That'd be good.
Right.
So when I thought about you because I made a post on social media a few months ago and was like, if you had a topic that you could speak about for 30 minutes, what would it be? Because I
Mhm.
eventually want to do a series
Okay.
of like 30 to 40-minute Zooms on different topics.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Using different speakers.
Yes, doing different speakers. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be nice. So what group is this that you're engaged with?
It's a Ladies Building Legacies group. So we meet monthly and sometimes twice a month and do different things together.
Okay.
Yes.
I
So
love that. What were you gonna say?
totally, it's like a total of like, how many of us is it? Like 18 of us.
Okay.
Everybody's schedules is sometimes hard to get on the same page with
I
every
already
day.
know. It's rough trying to get people together.
It is. We've been doing good so far, though.
That's good.
So I think we're on our 5th month of doing activities together. So next month will be the 6th month.
That's nice. That's what's up. I should have told you to have everybody get some paper and a pencil too, because we're gonna be taking notes and I'm gonna put y'all to the test as
Okay.
well. So it'll be interactive.
Send the other ladies a quick reminder to check them.
Okay. Y'all see me waving around is because I got fruit flies in here and they are driving me crazy. Ah,
Have you tried the apple cider vinegar and Dawn dishwashing
honey,
liquid?
I have tried everything. I got the little apples things that's got the solution inside. I've done the apple cider vinegar with the Dawn. I've got cups all around my house. It's insane.
Um,
And completely insane. At this point, I'm like, y'all can have the house because I'm leaving.
Right.
I think just waiting on one more person. I just
Okay. We can wait for
Hey,
her.
ladies, how's your Sunday going?
Hey, everybody. Pretty good. It's hot outside. Trying to beat the heat.
Yes, I know, girl.
How's your Sunday?
Doing good. I'm multitasking. It's my best friend's birthday tomorrow, so she's having a pool party, and I was like, I'm gonna try to get all this in at the same time. So I'm
Right,
multitasking.
right.
Business don't stop, does
It does not.
Exactly.
it?
So if you have access to pen and paper, go ahead and grab that. Or if you are living in 2025 and you want to use your laptop or your phone to take notes, you can do that. But I'm still a pencil and paper girl.
Me too.
I gotta have a notebook or something. I have so many notebooks. It's an obsession at this point.
We can get started in like another minute or so. You
Okay,
want to introduce yourself? It's fine.
we can give the other person one more minute, and then let's say 6:03, we'll get started.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. First of all, Portia, thank you so much for having me and inviting me to run this workshop. So, welcome everybody to the Art of Public Speaking and Storytelling, hosted by myself. My name is Erica Denise. Let me go ahead and change the slide. So I want to give you all a little bit of background about who I am. I am the CEO of Erica Denise Entertainment, which is a full-scale production company. I do artist development. I book talent for venues. And basically, I've scaled the company from booking talent into being a full-scale production company where we provide lighting, staging, sound, and all of the things. My tagline is, "We are the link between you and what's possible." So I want to start this workshop off by firstly telling you that you do not have to wait until you feel qualified. And sometimes your calling will qualify you in the moment. So let me take you all back just for a second because I did not know that I was going to end up here in the place that I am. I was working a 9 to 5. I was sitting behind a desk every day in a cubicle doing work that did not light me up. I was the secretary and a bookkeeper for JCPS. But I kept feeling like this pull on my life, like I was made to do something else. And I didn't want to work for anybody anymore. I didn't want to clock in and clock out. I didn't want to sit behind the desk pushing papers and while my purpose was collecting dust on the shelf. I don't know if you've ever been working for somebody and watching them achieve their dreams and doing all the things while you working hard and grinding for them, and then you're not getting any satisfaction from it. It's a horrible feeling. And so one day, I just sat down at my laptop and I asked myself a simple but a life-changing question. What is it that I am good at? What do I know how to do well? And what can I do every day that I love, whether or not I was getting paid for it or not? And I don't know if you've heard that saying before, that if you work doing whatever you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So I started to make a list. I didn't have any filters. I didn't have any doubts. I was just talking to myself, real talk, like, what is it that I can do? So on that list, I put things like artist development, concert promotion, event planning, cabaret theater, musicals, weddings, birthday parties. And then that list became the foundation for my vision. I took those gifts and those skills and I created a simple website, Wix. I think it was Wix, that website platform. I created that website and I launched the website. I didn't have a plan. All I had was faith, right? And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, the very next week, I got a hit on that website. A lady named Rachelle Douglas reached out to me about producing a full musical for her son, who was a drummer. She had a dream of telling his story on the stage. And she asked me what it would cost for me to write, produce, direct, cast, and book the venue and put it all together. I said, oh, $12,000. And she didn't blink. Okay. She cut the check. And that moment changed my life. When I tell you, I had never created a musical, had never done anything like that before. And I went into that meeting like I knew what I was talking about. I had a little briefcase and everything. And I was like, yeah, it'll be $12,000. I can write it, produce it, all the things. And when she cut that check, y'all, it literally changed my life. That one opportunity launched me full force into the performing arts. And I knew this was it. I knew that this was the path that I was supposed to be on. And what you'll realize is when you're following your dreams, things will begin to happen organically. It's not forced, it's not something that you have to make happen. Things will just start to fall into place. So after that, I started working on a youth performing arts summer camp, but I needed the funding. And people started connecting me with other people. And that's when I met Councilwoman Sherry Brain Hamilton and Portia White, who Portia Ellis, I'm sure, is very familiar with. Um, and Portia White was the director of Shawnee Community Center at that time. And I told them about my idea for a camp that would run at night. It would be from 5 to 9 o'clock, which was not something that nobody was doing at the time, because I knew that these kids needed something to do after school hours. And Portia said, I just got the funding for some youth programs, and I think this would be perfect. And then Councilwoman Sherry Bryan Hamilton came around and she agreed and she supported it too. And just like that, we had the green light. Okay. That first summer, we had 52 young people that came to that program. And I had never run a camp before in my life. And then from there, Portia introduced me to Mr. Sam Watkins, who was the CEO of Louisville Central Community Center. And they were looking for somebody to run their fine arts programming. Now, keep in mind, I keep telling y'all, I had never had a formal arts job before, but I went through several interviews with Portia vouching for me and basically telling me, and she didn't know me from anywhere either. She was vouching for me, telling me, yes, she would be perfect for the opportunity. And I was hired at LCCC as their coordinator of fine arts. And then Mr. Watkins told me that they were building a theater. And I said, well, you can't build a theater without a community theater troupe to go with it, right? And that's when I created the Youth Repertory Theater Troupe of Louisville, and then the Tiny Tykes Theater Troupe of Louisville. And the 6 years that I was there, I had over 400 kids that came through that program over the years, who are now, a lot of them are still performing. Some of them have gone on to be on Broadway, have gone on to produce their own shows, who have just been absolutely amazing to watch and see them grow in the arts. And so then after that came another shift. I became the first senior Black woman in leadership at Actors Theater of Louisville, one of the top regional theaters in the country. And that season of life really stretched me, and it grew me, and it put me on stages that I never imagined. And then in June of 2023, I walked away from it all and I stepped into full-time entrepreneurship. And today, Erica Denise Entertainment is a full-scale booking and production company. And like I told you earlier, we handle live entertainment. We have DJs and musicians. We have lighting. We have sound. We have staging. We are a talent booking and management company for corporate and private events, weddings, cabarets, concerts, festivals, you name it. I've worked with the Louisville Urban League, with Derby City Gaming Downtown, with Norton Sports and Learning Center, the Kentucky Derby Festival, and countless others. And now we're scaling and we're developing artists and launching public speaking workshops like this and teaching artist development and helping people like you step into your voice. Because I truly believe your story is powerful and your voice matters, and somebody out there is waiting for your yes. So that is my introduction. So here are the workshop objectives, okay? You're going to walk away with the confidence to speak. You're going to have tools to tell the stories that stick. You're going to learn about structure and delivery tips. We're going to have real-time practice in a safe space. Everybody's safe here, okay? And then there's no pressure here to be perfect. I just need you to show up and I need you to be your authentic self and I need you to be real. Is that okay? And you can take your mics, turn your mics off and you can shout back at me. If you want to turn your video on, you can so I can see faces. Because it's not truly public speaking if we can't see you. Okay, wait a minute. There we go. Hold on, what happened? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we're going to boost your confidence, learn storytelling techniques that captivate, improve structure and delivery, and then we're going to practice in a safe space, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the icebreaker. I want everybody to, we're going to get to know each other. I want you to share your name, what it is that you do, and then I want you to tell me the last story that you told somebody, whether it was funny, inspiring, or awkward, okay? And again, this is a space for sharing. We're not judging, and I want us to lean in and support each other. So who would like to go first? And it could just be a story that you told somebody.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Hey everyone. So the last story I told someone was I recently went through training to be a doula. So I told the story of why I wanted to become a doula, about me dealing with postpartum depression and just wanting to be that support for moms who don't have any support through that process. So I want to focus on postpartum with moms. So I told it was a lady that I had met. Where were we? At an event. I told her the story of why I wanted to be a doula.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it
So I
Luciana?
think
It's Luciana.
Luciana.
Yes, ma'am.
You're
Okay,
going
well, I guess I'm next.
next.
Well, Luciana Young. I'm a cosmetologist by trade. I own a salon. But I'm also a travel business owner. I'm an army brat, and I was in the military for a short period of time, so I've traveled this part of my life. But anyhow, the last story that I told, I think I was speaking to a group of youth, mostly youth girls, well, in reference to like skincare and stuff like that. And it was their purpose day. And just looking at, I just told them a story about how I kind of ran away. Like in school, I had a vocational high school and cosmetology was a part of it, but I didn't do that because I thought I needed to be a doctor, lawyer, stockbroker, that type of thing, because that's what society said. And then we just kind of went through all of that to where I finally ended up years later in the beauty industry, pretty much walking out the purpose, and didn't know that I truly believe that using beauty was going to be a way to be able to put up dialogue and kind of help build the leaders for the next generation. But just using a common space like that. So I just told them that it may not look like what it is for you, but don't run away from your purpose if you feel it now. And then because you 9 times out of 10 you're going to end up back to where you're supposed to be. So
Yep. One
yeah.
thing about that purpose, you cannot run from it. You can. Is it Danielle?
I'm sorry. Yes, yes. I was driving, guys.
Okay.
Yes, it's Danielle. And what am I supposed to say again? I'm
You're,
sorry.
you're introducing yourself, telling us what you do, and then the last story you told somebody, whether it was funny, inspiring, or awkward or sad.
Okay, that's right. Okay, my name's Danielle. I work as a pharmacy technician for the Children's Hospital. The last story, oh, it was today. I told a funny story. I just left my friends. We're grilling out and having fun on Sunday. And I was just over there telling a funny story about a spaghetti dinner I had a couple of nights ago. That was very interesting.
Okay. Okay. We're going to get you to tell that story a little later. Okay.
Okay.
Jasmine.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Everyone, I'm Jasmine. Uh, I just opened. Sorry, I'm in Chicago, y'all, for the first time, so y'all might hear a lot of stuff going on in the back. But so funny story. Well, first I can tell you, I just became a doula, and I'm a federal employee. And I'm just striving in my purpose of becoming a doula because it was on my calendar for over 2 years, and it kind of just fell in my lap going to one of Portia's Ellis's events. We had assigned seats, and the lady sitting beside me just happened to be the founder of one of the doula services in Louisville. So that's how that happened.
Okay.
Um, but that was my funny story, actually. I was just telling one of my friends, I was like, y'all, this has been on my calendar for too long. I'm either about to remove it or I'm about to travel and go take a class somewhere. And that same week, I went to that event, and then not even 72 hours later, I was registered for the class.
Wow. I love that. Okay. So, see, public speaking is not that difficult. It's just like having a conversation with your girlfriends. And so
And
I
I
would
despise
encourage you.
public speaking. Sorry to cut you off.
What'd you say?
I said I despise public speaking, but I do it all the time.
You do it
Sorry
all
to cut
the
you off.
time. No, it's fine. It is fine. It is just like having a conversation. And I will be completely transparent. I am an introvert. I do not like talking, believe it or not. I don't like small talk. I don't like any of that. And it freaks me out. And I have social anxiety and all of the things. And so I literally have to get myself in a space to get ready to speak to people. And I get nervous and I start stumbling over myself and I start second guessing. And so don't ever think that it's ever going to be perfect, okay? Don't ever, don't take yourself so seriously. And we'll get into some other tips a little bit later in the presentation. So I don't want to say too much and then get off track. So anyway, the power of speaking well. Again, you don't have to be perfect. All you have to do is be real. Public speaking is definitely a learned skill. Great speakers connect, they don't perform. And confidence equals courage and practice. So, again, you don't have to be perfect. I don't know if you've ever been to a presentation or listened to a speaker and you could tell, like, something's off about this person. They are not real at all. They pretending to be somebody. They're trying to mimic somebody else that they've seen speaking before, and it just didn't connect, right? And again, like I said, I get nervous all the time, but it confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's courage and it's practice, right? And when I was little, I would get in front of the mirror and I would just talk to myself and look and see, okay, what is my face doing when I say this? How do I look when when I'm doing this? And so I would suggest just getting in front of a mirror and just talking and just saying something that you talk about, something that you know about. That's the other thing too. When you are prepared and you know the topic and you know what you're talking about, it's easy because you know what you're saying, right? The worst thing that you can do is get up in front of somebody or a group of people and start trying to talk about something that you ain't got no clue about. So you faking the funk, and people can smell that from a mile away, right? Again, I didn't know what the heck I was doing when I told that lady $12,000, but I believed in the value that I brought to the table. I said, I can do musicals. I've been in musicals before. I've been taught by some of the best musical theater professionals. I have, um, I have done some event planning in the past, and I know that I can do this. So I didn't overpromise. I might have overpromised her a little bit, but I definitely delivered once she gave me the opportunity. Okay. So there are three C's to impactful speaking. The first one is confidence. You have to own your voice. And for me, I'm a singer and I'm a performer, right? And it took me a very, very long time to appreciate the sound of my voice. I hated to hear myself. I don't know if you all have ever listened back to a video or a recording and thought, oh my God, is that how I sound? Like what? And then I'll listen back and be like, you so country? Where are you from? This accent is so heavy. And I don't think that I have an accent until I hear myself. And I'm talking about y'all and over there and all of this kind of stuff. Like, what's happening here? But you have to own your voice. You have to get used to hearing the sound of your voice. You also need to have clarity. So don't ramble, you make it plain. And then, as I said earlier, you want to connect. It's all about connection. Speak like you're having a conversation with somebody. There's a quote that says, the best speakers make you feel seen and not impressed. So, some of the common fears that people have as it relates to public speaking is, what if I mess up? You will. Just keep going. Okay. And 9 times out of 10, when you are messing up, and I tell my students when they are performing on stage, nobody knows unless you make it known, right? If you have a script and you're prepared and you're even reading a script and or you've memorized the script, 9 times out of 10, the people in the audience have no idea what your script is supposed to say. So you give it away by saying, oh, my bad. Wait a minute. Okay. I just messed up. You ain't got to do all of that. Pause, take a breath, breathe, and then get your bearings and then get back on what you were talking about. And people like to see that humanity in people as well. Like, oh, she just messed up. Maybe I could do this too. It gives people permission, to be human, right? And then some you might say, oh, well, people are gonna judge me. They might, but most people are rooting for you. And one thing I also think is, ain't nobody gonna come up to you after the speech and be like, that was horrible. For real. And if somebody does, like, really? 9 times out of 10, nobody is going to come up to you and say, you suck, you can't talk, I don't know why you're doing this, I don't know who sent you. Ain't nobody gonna do that. Okay. Um, well, wait a minute. In today's social media climate, they become keyboard warriors behind the screen, and they might type some stuff out now, but in person they ain't gonna say it in your face. And then you might say, "Well, I'm not a speaker." If you talk, you're a speaker. Okay, so just know that. My first time leading a camp, I was weak. I was winging it. But purpose does not wait on perfection. So step into your purpose if being a speaker and you want to be on stages, if that's what you want. Step into your purpose because it's not going to go away. All right, so let's talk about the storyline structure. Every story has 3 parts, right? So you want to set it up and you want to talk about the who, the what, and the where. Then you want to have your conflict. What was the challenge? And then you want to have your resolution. What changed or what did you learn? So, from my story in the beginning, I don't know if you all realized that I was giving you all kind of the blueprint by telling you my story. And my setup was that I was in a 9 to 5 cubicle, right? The conflict was I was unfulfilled. And then my resolution was choosing myself and building my company. So, if you use those 3 parts, in every story that you tell, you'll be able to tell a clear and concise story, right? Okay. So, some storytelling tips. Good stories hook people in from the jump. So you might want to start with a quote or a question or a moment. You want to use emotion and details, but you don't have to overdo it. You want to keep it real and you want to keep it focused. And I remember one time I was at a community event and I told a story and I hope I I had folks laughing and crying all within 5 minutes. And so the power of storytelling is about being authentic and being transparent and allowing people into your world and showing people like the humanity of it all. And believe it or not, we're more alike than we are different, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about our activity. What I want you all to do is I want you to choose one prompt to reflect on. And that's going to be a moment that changed you is one prompt, a time you overcame fear, a person who impacted your life. So you're going to pick one of those prompts. I'm going to give you maybe 2 or 3 minutes to reflect on that. And then I want you to jot down a few bullet points. Okay. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about sounding perfect. Just be honest. And then we're going to share. Okay. Some tips as you are thinking about what it is that you want to talk about. And I'll go back to those prompts if you need to see them again. But you want to use your voice and you want to vary your tone. You can use pauses. So I call that pause with purpose. You can use your body, you can use eye contact, posture, expression, and just use the moment, slow down and connect with us as you're telling your story. Okay. So I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, but let me go back to those prompts if you need to see them again. In the 2 minutes, you're going to share your story. You're going to focus on the connection, not perfection. And then we'll give you quick feedback and encouragement. Okay. So here are the prompts one more time. Wait a minute. I went back too far. Okay. A moment that changed you, a time you overcame fear, and a person who has impacted your life. And Danielle, if you still driving, you just gotta remember because we don't need you to be wrecking and stuff, trying to write and drive.
Right. No, I'm in the house now.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you it is 6:27. Let's say at 6:35 we'll come back. I'll check in at 6:33, and if we're ready to go, we'll start early. But if not, we'll go to 6:35.
So are we telling the story just like we would be telling it to our homegirls? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, so it could be conversational, but also pretend like you're in front of an audience as well, like at a public speaking event. Okay, does anybody need more time? Because we can go until 6:35 if we need to. I can't hear nobody.
Oh no, I think I'm okay. I don't know. I'm gonna try to wing this.
Okay. Does anybody need 2 more minutes? Just come off mute and say yes. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that means you're ready to go. Okay, Danielle, since you spoke up first, let's go
Okay.
ahead and let me go back to the 2 minute screen. So you're gonna share your story. You're gonna focus on the connection, not perfection. And then we'll give you some quick feedback and encouragement. Okay. And
Okay.
let me get my stopwatch going. 1 second. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Go.
Okay. So I'm gonna share a story about a moment in my life that just kind of changed my life forever. And it has to do with my second child, my second pregnancy. I'm gonna take you back to like 2006. It's about I was very young. I was in my 20s. I had my first daughter. Um, I wasn't making the best decisions. I was in the streets doing things you should not be doing. And my mom took her from me. And so I was able to continue to do things I shouldn't be doing and stay in the streets. And I didn't really have to be a mom. And then, boom, I got pregnant again 1 year later. And the first time I thought my second daughter moved, I was locked up. And I vividly remember being locked up, laying on the top bunk, pregnant, like 4 or 5 months, and my belly moved. And it was the first time that my consciousness connected with that. And that moment completely changed my life. Um, I'm a totally different person. If I didn't tell people this story, they wouldn't even think that I lived the life I lived before. I got pregnant with my second daughter because the first one didn't do it. I was still making bad decisions and doing what I wanted to do. But that is a moment that changed my life and it got me back on a good path. So the challenge was now I'm caught up in this legal system. I got to find a way to get out of this and get a good career to take care of these kids. And I did just that. Paid a bunch of lawyers, got my record together, got a college degree, got some certifications, and it's been a blessed journey. I wouldn't change it. Not one moment of it.
Okay,
The end.
that was 1 minute and 48 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So, so you had
I
a
heard
little bit more
myself
that
saying,
you could have. Yeah, just breathe and stay calm. So you had a little bit more that you could have filled in there to get that extra 10 seconds in.
Okay.
Off top for me, I was engaged because you use some buzzwords like in the streets. They took your babies, jail. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I need to know more. Okay. So it was
Right.
very compelling and very engaging. Anybody else have any feedback? And this is interactive, so please participate.
I was drawn in from the beginning. I love stories and hearing about things that people overcome. I love inspirational stories. So I was drawn in from.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And seeing you, like the description, I was laying on my bed and I saw my belly move, like I was there with you in that story. And I believe that, if there were some young people in the audience that you were speaking to, you would have had them right off the bat, especially when you started. I was in the streets. Okay. Because these young people are out here in the
I
streets.
was.
Listen,
Yeah.
I got locked up. So
Yeah.
depending on who your audience is, you want to be sure that's the other thing. You want to know who your audience is and know who you're talking to
Mhm.
so that you can try to figure out how to relate to whoever is in your audience. So if you were in an auditorium full of teenagers at TAP, and I've spoken at TAP before, a lot of them end up at TAP because of situations like being in the streets and, going down the wrong path or whatever. So this could have definitely been a story that would resonate with those young people. Anybody else?
Okay.
Luciana, any encouragement or anything that you noticed?
Yeah, to be quite honest, it helped me to be okay with sharing what I have next as well.
Okay.
Cool.
Also let you know what resilience and progression and purpose look like when just go ahead and go after it and not be held back. So it was very encouraging, I can say that.
Mhm. That's
Well,
good.
thank you.
When we tell our stories, we give other people permission to share and tell their stories as well. And that's the other thing about sharing your testimony, because you never know what your testimony or how your testimony is going to change somebody else's life. And I say all the time that your somebody else's destiny is tied to whether or not you fulfill your purpose or not. So somebody's waiting on you to do what you are supposed to be doing so that they can then go into their destiny. Jasmine, do you have any encouragement or anything that you noticed from Danielle's story? Okay, don't know where Jasmine went. That's okay. All right, let's move on.
Thank you,
So great
ladies.
job, Danielle.
Thank you, ladies.
The only thing that I would give as far as a critique. And of course, if you had more time to plan the story out, just make sure that you hit those three benchmarks. You want to set it up, then what's the conflict, and then what's the resolution. And if you use that for every time you tell a story, you're in the clear, right? And so what is the thing that I'm talking about?
Okay.
What am I conflicted by? What is the issue? What is the problem? Now, how did I get out of that? Okay. And then just
Okay.
write down your bullet points, write down your talking points. So for each one of those segments in your setup, just write down bullet points. I want to talk about dot, 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 dot. And then, you know what I mean? So that you don't
Mhm.
necessarily have to memorize it, but you can look and say, okay, I want to talk about laying on the bed and seeing my baby move. I want to talk about how I was in the streets. I want to talk about you said the legal system. I want to talk about getting into college. I want to talk about how I beat the odds, whatever. And then you can kind of expound on each one of those, as you're actually
Mhm.
talking. So
Okay. Thank you.
don't ever think that you can't have a cheat sheet, that you can't have your bullet points, that you have to memorize your story. You don't have to. You could cheat. Okay,
Okay.
Luciana, you ready?
Right. Yes.
All right, let me reset
So,
the timer.
okay.
Here we go. Go.
All right. Well, at the age of 30, I found myself in federal prison with a sentence of 10 years mandatory minimum. Now, so in those 10 years, I knew that I was going to have to figure it out because I knew that I did not want to walk out the same way that I came in. Now, I had to really like reflect on everything because there was something my mother can do. She couldn't get me out. She couldn't take the time for me. I had a 10-year-old at home that was waiting on me, who had depended on me as a single mom. And one day she had wrote me a letter and said, "How could you have made the decision that you made knowing you were all that I had?" And
Mm,
so at that very moment, I had to kind of really like take a real gut honest approach at how I looked at myself. What I realized was that for most of my life, I had already been in prison, just not behind the four walls.
mm,
So it went from trying to be accepted, trying to be perfect for everyone because my biological father didn't show up. And so therefore I was trying to be everything I thought everybody else wanted me to be. It's like I almost had multiple personalities, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be as schizophrenic as sometimes, right? But with that, I had to ask God, like, how did I get here? Because I did not want to find myself there again. When I realized I had to try to have a certain career, like I told you, I talked about those girls about purpose. You know, uh, what was it? What was I supposed to do? Trying to figure out what society wanted me to be and not live that life anymore because I literally lived my life of compromise. Um, and so at this particular point, I just had to look into the mirror and really get gut honest. I thought I was a good person. I thought, I understood that at the time I was making certain decisions because I was just trying to make ends meet, and then things just kind of just went, further than I expected. Um, but with that, I just knew that had to be true. How there were times I was selfish. There were some things I allowed, pleasing people just wasn't going to work. And so with that, I learned how to be honest with me. And therefore, as I walk out my life today, I try my best to be the same way, but not let anybody use what I say. Okay.
You actually went at 2:04. I gave you 4 extra seconds.
I tried. Okay.
Okay,
That was so good.
that was really good. So
Yeah.
what's happening in federal prison? You were for 10 years, you was in there?
Yeah. Well, I had to do 8 years and 9 months. Yeah.
Girl. Oh my goodness. Okay, so who wants to give some encouragement? I'm gonna save mine. Who wants to give some
I think you did wonderful, girl. Because
Thank
from the
you.
beginning, I was in it. I was like, oh, okay. So she know, yeah, yeah, okay. We relating here. But I did not expect you to say that long of a bit. That's a long time. You totally turn your life around. It is
Oh, thank
such
you.
a blessing, and you delivered that very well. I was all into the story. I wish you would have had a couple of more minutes. I hate that it was time for real, for real.
Thank you.
Yes, I definitely wanted to hear more too. And now I feel like a square. Like I ain't been through nothing. I'm teaching kids theater. Y'all been in jail. Like what? Got a hard life. What's happening here? And then you said when your mom said all that I had,
Yes.
knew that I was all that, when you knew that you were all that I had, like, how could you do this? Like that just, it was gripping, and it made me feel, it made me really be there in that moment for not only you, but for your mom. Like, step into your
It's my
mom's
daughter.
shoes. Yeah, like
Yep.
you're her only
Well,
daughter.
it was my daughter who said it.
Oh, I thought you said your
Oh, it
mom
was
said that
your
to you.
daughter.
Oh my
Oh, that's
goodness.
even
So that
heavier.
changes it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Your
that's
daughter
even
said that.
heavier.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
my God. I thought you said your mom said that to you.
Um,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
You gotta write a book.
You do have to write a book. And then you said
Yeah.
I was already in prison, and not in the four walls, but
Hmm.
mentally, like in my mind, I was in prison anyway. Like that's good. Those are those good like hook lines that just draw people in. Now I'm listening. Like Danielle said, I want to hear the rest. I need to read the book. I need to watch the documentary. I need all
Oh Lord.
of it. Okay. Seriously. Portia, you have any encouragement?
Going to.
I had the same thoughts as you, Erica. Like my story, what? I have to go after them?
Listen.
I did good. Yes. So definitely telling your all story about getting deep on what made you turn around, like how your kids were influential in that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled the heartstrings, definitely.
Yeah. Jasmine, are you back? Okay. I think we may have lost Jasmine. Okay. Portia, you ready? Oh, wait. Before Portia goes, the thing for you, Luciana, is again, slow down, write out exactly what you want to talk about. I would have loved to hear the what, like actually what happened, what got you in prison, if it's not too much, and then you also need to, when you're sharing your story, sometimes you can't tell everybody everything because some people can use things against you. So make sure that you are in safe spaces, and make sure that you're not oversharing as well, and sometimes people like to share and trigger people just for the trigger. You know what I mean? Like, let me say this because I know it's gonna get them going. So you got to be careful with that, and just know who you're talking to. You don't want to be in an elementary school talking to young elementary kids and saying I shot somebody, and well, I'm not saying that's what you did. But you just got to be careful about who your audience is. But for me, I would have loved to hear the what, like what actually happened, and then how are you now? Where are you today after having gone through this 10-year, 8.5 year bid? All right, Portia.
Okay. So
All
a
right, let me
time
reset. Let me reset.
okay.
Go.
A time that I overcame a fear was yesterday at my family reunion. One of my aunts asked me to lead and host the games at the family reunion. And I thought to myself, why me? There's 100 other people here. I'm shy. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm an introvert and that I hire others to host my own events. But her thinking of me and actually me following through gave me the drive to want to keep doing it. I started to think to myself, why don't I feel confident enough to be in front of people, to be the center of attention in a room? So it made me dive deep into my past. And when I started to really think about it, when I first started to lose my voice, it was back when I was in a domestic violence relationship. I started to have a fear of what others may think. It literally ripped my confidence away. So it made me go back to really think about where I came from and where I'm at now. And I thought to myself, how can I encourage my kids to be in front of the room and go after their dreams if I can't do that for myself? And the second point that it brought to my attention is that other people see something in me that I actually don't see in myself. So it actually made me want to keep being in front of the room and maybe host one of my events myself in the near future.
You got 30 seconds.
Oh man, I knew I was gonna be short.
All right. That was
I
1 minute
knew
and
it.
30 seconds.
I knew it. I'm always the type of like, let's get this over with.
But that's not fair. I feel like since you going last, you had time to sit down and write this out. You done made a whole script.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
It was
It
real
was
polished. Yeah.
it was very polished, okay? And I definitely I resonate with that because I am shy and I'm an introvert and people do not believe it because I perform and I sing and whatever, but honestly, I am shaking and trembling every time I am in front of anybody. I really am. And so like not wanting to host your own events, I relate to that because I started my company and I put other people on stage before I would perform myself. And so people would book Erica Denise Entertainment thinking they were booking me. And then I'd be like, nope, I got a whole band that's coming. It's not gonna be me. It's not me singing. It's not me singing. And so I don't really perform a lot because I'm putting other people on stage. Not because, and it is partly because I do want to share the stage and I do want to give those artists opportunities. But the other part of that is just I I'm scared to death. Okay. I'm scared of the judgment. I'm scared of, and it goes back to a fear of when I was in church as a kid. Everybody around me in my choir could sing. And so if you were flat, if you were sharp, they were pointing it out. They was doing the face and looking at you crazy. And I was traumatized by that. And so I pick every note apart, everything that I say, everything that I sing, I'm picking it apart. Don't let it be a video. I'm watching it over and over again and say, oh, you did that. That wasn't right. And so partly the reason why people don't see a lot of me singing is because I am terrified. And I told myself this year in 2025, I was going to do more performing myself. And I have done that.
Way. I'm like, if people
Good.
in the front of the room, I would love to give you the opportunity to be in front of the room. Like you love that. Go ahead and do it, girl. I'll pay you.
Listen,
Yeah.
it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It's certain stuff, and people will call all the time. Can you do this? No, but I have somebody I'm gonna send.
Right.
There's somebody else. So when you said I hire people to host my events, I felt that, right? Um, you talked about, then you tied in the domestic violence. So you gave us the reason. You gave us like, where did this come from? Where did this trauma about speaking and standing up for myself and standing and holding space for myself come from? And that came from this domestic violence situation. And so now you're resonating with other people that have gone through the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? And so you're becoming human. You are becoming somebody that's relatable now. Oh, okay, she's been through some stuff. I'm feeling that. I can feel that. And then you say what people see something in me that I don't see in myself. That was a good hook line right there because I'm sure there's so many other people that feel that same way. That people tell me all the time, and you should be doing this and you're gonna be doing this, and they speak over you and they want to empower you and all that. And then on the inside, I'm like, why me? I
Mhm.
didn't ask for any of this. I don't want to do any of this. And answering your call on your life takes courage and it takes guts because oftentimes we don't feel worthy for the call. We don't feel like we measure up. But the fact that you have stepped into the position that you have, Portia, and starting Black Girls Conquer All and all the things that you have done within that organization is so amazing. And the amount of women that are being freed and set free because of what it is that you are doing, just know that it is for a purpose and nobody could do it but Portia Ellis, right? And so because you are stepping into that, you are giving other people permission to step into their calling as well. So I commend you all day long for what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
Yes. Any other encouragement? Luciana?
Yeah, all that.
Oh,
Oh,
Danielle?
go ahead. All that she said, Portia, about the Black Girls Conquer All, the how you're changing, clock it, as my daughters would say. Honestly, yeah, I would not be doing anything like this had it not be for Black Girls Conquer All. So I definitely appreciate you and the movement because it's a movement,
It's
baby.
a movement.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And the
I
story
used to
was really
think,
good.
oh, sorry, go ahead. No, I actually, I always thought I was an extrovert for real, but like in real life, I'm not. I would, when I come in, I'll participate and I can talk to anybody and all that good stuff. But when I'm finished with that situation, I'm home, I'm locked in, even to the point where friends are like, I hadn't heard from you. I'm thinking like, just know that nothing changed. I still love you and everything is good. But I used to really think that I was out there. But this is something I know that I had in order for me to grow and, like you said, share your purpose because really your purpose for somebody else that I have to really push out. And so when it came to Black Girl Conquer All and the, ladies legacy, it really has helped me kind of just say, okay, I gotta get, outside of myself and really tap in. So thank you so much, Portia. You're doing a great job in spite of whatever struggles personally you do with with this nonprofit. It is really working. It's profiting us.
Yes.
Mhm.
Awesome. So the only critique that I would give Portia is to tap into your voice and your authenticity, and don't let us know that you are reading a script. Because I could, from the moment you started, I knew that you had written this down and that you were, following the playbook. Like, let me read this real quick and get it over with. So you can use a script, but just learn how to use those vocal inflections and pauses, and, find those moments where it feels authentic, where it doesn't feel like I'm actually reading. And secret, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I've been reading the whole hour from I have a whole playbook in front of me right now. The whole time. I ain't said nothing off script. So I don't
That's
know if y'all
good.
noticed. Y'all might be like, we knew you was
I
reading.
did not
So,
know this.
okay, great job. Y'all did good.
Yay.
So some of the
This is
takeaways.
fun.
Public speaking is a conversation. Storytelling makes you memorable. So you want to start small, speak often, and stay true to your message, right? Storytelling is about how you stand out. People don't remember the facts, but they do remember how you made them feel, right? And again, it's just a conversation. Pretend like you are having a conversation with your girlfriends, with a family member, and use the audience as one of those people. And then you can, how they say, pretend like somebody's naked in in the audience. I've never done that. I don't know if that works or not. But you can focus in on one person in your audience and just act like you're having a conversation with them. Find somebody that is engaged, and usually you can see when somebody's engaged when they nodding, and when they're, like, okay, doing this or whatever, and just kind of focus in on one person that's in front of you and just have a conversation. All right, so we are at the end. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Can I get some feedback? What is one word that you are walking away with tonight?
I don't have one word, but what I am going to do, you said when you were telling your story in the beginning, you wrote on a piece of paper, what is it that I'm good at? I
Mm-hmm.
wrote that down. And when I get home after the party, I'm going to figure that out.
Okay, it
Yeah.
works too. It really works. Anybody else have any thoughts or one word, or how did you feel about today?
Yeah, I'm gonna execute.
Okay.
Quit worrying about this one thing that you said that hit me like straight in like my throat. It says purpose does not wait on perfection. And that is really a stress point for me.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna execute.
Yeah, it does not have to be perfect. It doesn't.
I feel empowered because I would say I wrote it out because I was like, I want to get this over with quick. So let's get
Yeah,
straight to the point. So empowered to really find my voice and take it slow. Don't try to
yeah,
rush
yeah. Just breathe.
it. Yeah.
So mine is gonna be affirmed, because every time I do this, I'm reminded that I'm on assignment. And I can't tell y'all how many times this year I said I'm walking away from my company. It would be so much easier to just get a job. Um, and then somebody will call and they'll book a band for something, or they'll book me for a speaking engagement, or they'll book me for whatever, and I'm reminded that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. All of my bills have been paid. I ain't missed a meal. And it's
Oh,
been
man.
almost 3 years that I've been doing this full time. And at this point, I don't think I could even go back to a 9 to 5 because I've got so much freedom or whatever in what I do. But I know that I'm on assignment, and I know that, again, me answering the call that's on my life is helping somebody else answer theirs. And so I take that seriously. So thank you. You all, do you have any questions? Oh, we are right on time. It's like 6:59. Any questions? I want to thank y'all for having me. You showed up, you spoke up, and I want y'all to keep showing up.
Well,
Love
I don't have
everything about
$12,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Portia. I'll wait.
I was just saying I loved everything about it.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay,
Appreciate
well, give
Well,
me a testimonial.
Yes.
okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll keep interrupting because this was really good. I just say this. It's really good. So I would say I don't have $12,000, but I really I feel like getting a book out. Now you didn't encourage me with some whole documentary, honey.
Come
That's
on.
somewhere way past. But for me, it's like that is literally where I can, speaking and sharing as far as like being able to break, strongholds and all that good stuff. But I really need to know how to really put this out. I've been having it in my heart to do a book, three parts, but maybe it's all in one, just through different stages.
Mhm.
And telling my story, and I just need help into how to make that happen. Because I will critique in detail and not even know where to go, not knowing what I don't know. And so therefore it'll stop me from even just pressing forward. But I need some assistance. I don't know if you offer that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm open if
Okay.
you willing. Yes.
I am willing, and let me, Portia, can you email them and give them my email address and my contact information to reach out? I can't get to my chat right now. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just stop the share and then I can, oh, there we go. And I'll put my email in the chat. Uh,
If you can send me the replay, Jasmine, just text me and ask for the
okay,
it.
I will.
Okay.
So it's Erica Denise Entertainment at gmail.com. And so just email me and then we can set up some time to meet and I can give you some tools on how to get started and some people that you can reach out to. I'm not an editor or anything like that, but I do know people that have written books. I have ghostwriter friends as well that can kind of you can sit down and talk with them and actually just talk out your story and they'll record it. And then there is the software that will transcribe whatever you said into text. And then you can just use that as the start of your book. And so
Okay.
that's the easy way to get started.
Okay. I'll be reaching.
Yeah. So just reach out to me and we can sit down and talk about it.
Okay. Thank you.
But thank you all so much.
This was awesome. Thank you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you again, Portia.
Bye, you all.
See you, Luciana.